26F. This is going to be all over the place. I have no one to talk to about this. The few friends I do have don't know what was doing or why I'm so depressed. They would never talk to me again if they found out. My family would judge me. I grew up with a normal childhood and all. I was adopted and raised by a single mother, but had a good childhood. I never really liked school or had friends, but people always liked me, and I did well in school. I went to community college and had a great internship. Then COVID happened, and I somehow ended up doing sworker for 2 years. I took a break from college because I hated online learning. I moved out of state so I wasn't lying to my mom or making dirty money under her household. I love her so much and respect her dearly. If she knew what I did, it would hurt her. I'm sure she probably knows, but still. From 21 to 23, mid-2020, early 2022, I had no idea what I was doing or how it would later affect me later. While all of my friends were pursuing their education and making lifelong friendships, I was losing myself, making fast money, growing away from my dreams and reality. The crazy thing is, I wasn't even making good money. I wasn't having sex. I still worked part-time too for the looks. Anyways, I would hang out with older men, listen to their problems, give them handjobs sometimes or make out with them, make them feel special. You know, all that stuff. I was living a double life. No one knew. My friends thought I was a yoga teacher and entrepreneur on the side, which was kind of true, but most of my money came from my interactions with men. It messed me up so bad. I've seen the worst of men. It was a weird time. Anyways, shit hit the fan for me when I started working at an Asian spa in 2022. I went there for a massage and ended up with a job after checking out. They weren't very clear on what they were doing there, but it ended up being one of those places. At first, they gave me real clients that wanted regular massage, but then they started booking me with clients who wanted more. I didn't think what I was doing was that serious, but after a few people, I knew it was the worst mistake I've ever made of my life. At that point, I had quit my part-time job at yoga studio, kind of abruptly, and disappointed the owner, who I had a close relationship with. Didn't have much time to put into my small and failing businesses. Around that same time, I met an amazing friend group that reminded me of my childhood friend group. They were an educated and beautiful group of girls. They had bright futures ahead and wanted to be friends with me. Backstory, I used to model, did music videos for known artists and print campaigns. I had a few small real businesses, have always attracted beautiful and smart women as friends. Even though I wasn't in college at the time, I had a lot of ambition and other things going, so I could see why they wanted to be friends. I honestly thought they were so cool. They just got their first corporate jobs, and I was doing what I was doing. I felt inferior to them. They would invite me out to do normal things that 20-year-olds would do. I would flake on them a lot and tell them little lies. Most of the time I had to work. They had no idea what I was doing and that my life was out of control. They stopped being friends with girls over stupid things that didn't affect their friendship. However, I did learn a lot from them. Okay, back to the spa. I was spiraling and eventually got fired from that spa after 3-ish months for not doing happy endings all the time. I also almost got evicted from my apartment because I had no job, and the month prior, that spa wasn't paying me properly because the clients were complaining that I wasn't doing what they wanted. Even before I got fired from the spa, I wanted to stop everything I was doing, find a career, and make real honest money. I just didn't know how or who to ask for help because no one knew the truth. My resume looked a mess, jumping from job to job for a few months, dropping out of college, and ending up in the industry. My mom eventually found out about the eviction notices because she co-signed my lease. I ended up borrowing money from her, started driving for Uber, dog sitting, and doing anything I could to make an honest income. I became even more flaky with the friend group and my other real friends that I met along my journey. My life was falling apart and no one had a clue idea what I had going on. They all had their 9-to-5s and I was running around doing gig work. While I was trying to get my life together, the girls and I ended up going on an international trip together. We didn't get along during the trip. I was honestly so drained at that point and just wanted to relax on the beach, not make TikToks or do photo shoot. When we got back from the trip, they stopped talking to me. We didn't fight or anything on the trip, we just vacationed differently. If you've been on a girls' trip before, you know that means... In hindsight, I could tell the friendship was over before the trip. They were sick of my fibs and flakiness. When I was hugging them goodbye at the airport after we landed, I also knew that was the last time I was ever going to see them. It broke my heart. The friendship ending really broke me. It was my last straw. I was longing for a sense of normality, girlhood, community before I met them. It's a part of how I ended up in the industry. I found it and lost it because I was a hot mess. It's been 3 years since they stopped talking to me, and I still think about them every day. I also think about my friends every day that I don't talk to because I'm shame. We have each other on social media, and some of them still have me in their close friends. They are doing so well in life. My gosh, I wish I could be on their level. If I wasn't so fucked up and went to college, I could have done amazing things like them. This friendship group also ended in similar way to my childhood friend group. No real arguments or fights, just people deciding one day they don't like you and don't want to talk to you again. Ugh, I hate this generation. After that trip and everything, beginning 2023, I went to school to become an esthetician. I also became a functioning alcoholic during that time, for about a year, and the isolation period started. I'm sober now, and no one knows about my alcohol issue. The regret of my past decisions hit. I gained 45+ pounds and hid from everyone, even my closest friends and some family. I went to school, finally got a job working part-time, got my license, started working, and trying to heal. I work at a luxury spa now, providing luxury skincare services and have my own business again. I'm making pretty okay money, but it's not what I want to do forever. I eventually want to go back to school and get a degree. I just have no idea what for. I've just been living in regret about what I was doing in my early 20s. I was never able to hold on to very many long-term friendships in my early 20s because I was never really able to be honest, and I was always all over the place. I met so many cool people along the way who really tried hard to be my friend, but I was such a hot mess. I live regret every day, wishing I would have never dropped out of school or started doing S-work. I knew that I was never going to have a regular life because I was born into a messed up situation. Biological parents are messed up, LOL. I just didn't know my life would turn out like this. My mom didn't raise me to fall into this type of stuff. As stated before, I am an esthetician. We are in Beg of 2025 now. I have my own business, have lost the weight. I kind of glow again like I did before I got into SW, then got depressed. I really let myself go during my depression, traveled to 4 new countries, have bought a new car, and have also moved back to my hometown. I've turned my life around, but no one knows what I've been through. I never really posted many personal things on social media, so my life has always looked pretty normal and stable from the outside looking in. It wasn't like I was ever making crazy amounts of money as I was not having intercourse, just lots of paid interactions and dream selling. Only a few people know that I gained almost 60 pounds and was almost 200 pounds. Since moving back, so many people have tried to reconnect with me, but I'm so ashamed of what happened. I avoid hanging out with everyone, even family, because I don't want people asking me questions about my past or how I ended up becoming an esthetician, lol. I'm an honest person and always tell people the truth. People will judge me if I tell them the truth. I have very few friends right now because I'm still carrying this. I want to let it go. I'm living my 20s in isolation and fear. I need to go out. I know I was young and dumb. I told one of my aunts my truth. She told me nobody needs to know my story, which is true. I would lose everything and no one would understand. I agree and don't want to tell everyone. I do feel like I should share this part of me with people I want to build lifelong friendships with. I don't know. It's just as a huge part of my story, why I've disappeared for 2 years and am a different person. I carry so much shame with me, and it makes me such an insecure person. I know I would never do anything like that again. I feel so disconnected from people now. It's so weird. I used to be so social. Being in your mid-20s is so weird. Half of the people I know are excelling in their careers, going on work retreats, getting PTO, starting families, getting engaged, putting out projects, moving out of their early 20s apartment into their bigger one, etc. I'm just trying to figure it out day by day and not try to harm myself with so many negative, intrusive thoughts. I know some people will forgive me as I'm not proud of what I did, but will they really? They would never look at me the same. I know because I can't look at myself the same. I judge me. WTF was I thinking? Thank you to whoever stayed to read this. I'm all over the place, rambling.